place that is haunted. Right from the start, dear, built on an acre of sand.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zada.
And I'm Kelly, and you're listening to Two Sides in the Truth.
So you're going to get a little background noise, y'all, because we're recording in the restaurant, like a big down the hatch in Waxahachie, Texas, Al's restaurant / bar. He has a little VIP section for special events and such. And that's where we're recording because we still have no AC in the studio.
Yeah, so we're coming at you live from Big Al's down the hatch.
Live from Big Al's on the hatch. So you very likely are going to hear something because they set a table right before we started of like 15 people and then another table of like 7.
Yeah, it's popping.
Real close to us, like not too far. So if you hear people laughing, it's at us.
You have that natural ambiance going on now.
Yeah, it sounds like we're in a restaurant because we are.
We definitely are.
I'm glad we're hidden so people aren't staring at us. That'd be
that's
weird.
true. They would. Well, I don't think I'd be able to do it then.
No, but we have a window here so people will walk by and see us.
But we get to people watch. We just saw a guy walk by with a sword.
Yeah.
Like a straight on, like
I know. I was like, that guy has a sword.
It was like a straight on samurai sword.
And no one thought it was weird
No,
because we're in Texas.
Exactly.
They're like, sword? Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that goes with your outfit.
Yeah, why not? So Kelly and I, oh, wait, am I skipping? No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
Kelly and I had a great weekend and not your normal girls' weekend. Kelly, you go first. You tell us about our weekend.
Our weekend. Well, I'd like to start off with the fact that we usually go down there on Friday nights. So either we've just both gotten off of work or one's waiting on the other. And we usually have a time. We're like, okay, we're going to try and leave by 6:30 or
Yeah, we're
whatever.
rider buddies. We ride together.
That never happens. It's usually like,
45
we still
minutes
have to run
to an hour
by.
late.
We forgot something that we need to stop at the HEB before we get out of town or something like.
Yes.
We're always late, which is really not a big deal because we go down on Fridays to give us that time to drive down so we don't have to have the drive that next day. We just have all day.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't go down on Friday this time. We went down on Saturday morning. So Zeta's like, okay, I'm going to plan on leaving Waxahachie at like 6 o'clock or
6:30.
I'm going to 6:30. So just it's going to be early. And I was like, that's fine. I'll just have everything ready and I'll be ready to go. I had my coffee already made because I was going to have just like iced coffee in the morning. So I made my coffee the night before and had it in the refrigerator ready. So I was like, I can just get out of bed and hit the ground running. So I set my alarm for 6 because I was like, okay, if she's going to leave it at 6:30, I'll just give myself a little bit of time. Because it takes about like 20, 30 minutes to get to my house from Waxahachie anyways.
Yes.
So that was my plan. Well, she texts me at
5:30.
Yes. Wakes me up. And she's like, I'm ahead of schedule. I'm leaving Waxahachie. Here we go.
I'm
and
a morning
like,
person. That's the difference. I left in the morning.
The one time that you're ahead of schedule is the time that I was trying to get a little bit of time to sleep in. But no, of course you're ahead of schedule and early in the morning. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was there early.
No, it's okay.
But it was awesome because we got there so early. And then this trip was different than others because we did not go to play. We went to clean.
Yeah, we went to deep clean. And
and the cabin is clean. Like, obviously, we stay there a lot.
Yeah.
No one lives there. It's clean. But nobody's lived there since my step-grandmother passed away about 15 years ago. I don't know what year she died. 12 to 15 years ago. It's been a minute there. And so no one's lived there. So Bonnie has maintained it all these years, and but she hasn't lived in it. She has another home, and so it's kind of like, I don't want to call it her vacation home because it's 30 minutes, 40 minutes from her house.
Yeah.
But she goes there and goes fishing. She goes and if they have a special occasion where someone needs to sleep, whatever. It's this beautiful home that no one uses.
Yes. But basically, it has years and years of stuff that has been accumulated in this house.
It's not hoarder, honestly.
It really is. It's just full. It was just full.
It's just a lot of cabinets.
There was a lot of
all
cabinets.
In cabinets.
She had all kinds of storage space. It's an amazing house. It has so many nooks and crannies that have storage space in them.
Right.
But everything was full of things.
Yes.
And so we had to go through each and every drawer, clean it out,
and put it back correctly.
Vacuum it, wipe it down, sanitize, and then reorder things and put things with like things and get rid of things that were actual trash or anything that was just like, okay, we don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of work, but.
Well, I mean, it's like she passed away yesterday. Yeah. It was like we cleaned out the home of someone that passed away yesterday.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't want to get rid of her stuff.
Yeah.
And first off, we use a bunch of her stuff.
True.
But we don't need 10 bunk cake pans.
Oh my gosh. I think there was more than 10.
There was 10, not counting the mini. I started counting them.
Did you? Oh my gosh.
She never made me a single bunk cake.
But apparently she was the bunk cake queen.
She did make me one cake. Well, my daughter a cake. Zoe's maybe 5th birthday. She made Zoe a Barbie cake. You know, we put the Barbie in the middle of it.
Yeah.
She did do that.
I think I had one of those growing up.
But I didn't even know she was like a baker, I guess. I mean, I knew she occasionally would bring stuff, but I didn't realize this was a big deal for her.
From the look of that house, she was a serious baker.
Right. And I told my cousin, my cousin was like, she never cooked. I don't understand why she has all this. I was like, bitch, yes, she did. Let's talk about her $400 mixer. Okay, yes, she did. I mean, seriously. But she had so much baking supplies. She clearly loved to bake. Here's the issue. I can't figure out how to turn on the oven.
To this day.
So we have every baking supply necessary and no way to bake it in the house. And I've tried. It's a gas oven. It is a commercial grade gas oven. It is an amazing stove.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't figure out this fucking oven. And I'm sure there is a trick to it. I don't know.
I'm sure it's super simple, too.
But I'm scared of it, too. So I don't, and so I'm pretty much the only person that will even light it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you have to like turn the gas on. It has like a valve behind the stove where I have to turn the gas on. And then I have to light a long match. And then I turn the gas on the actual burner. And then, but I have to, this is the lesson I've learned. I have to light the match before I turn on the gas. Because if I take any additional time lighting the match, we're going to have a massive blow of fire when I stick the match to the gas. Because it's already a big deal, even when I don't wait. Like, if I wait 3 seconds, it still is.
It goes poof.
Yes, every time. That's
scary.
exactly.
It's very scary.
Yes. But I love the oven, and I love the stove. And so that was a big part of this weekend, is that this stove is amazing, and it's not being used to its full potential because half of it is a very large commercial-grade griddle, which, if you're like me and you like to cook, who doesn't want to use a commercial-grade griddle?
We need that griddle for sure.
But it had some rust on it, and it had some burn marks on it. And I don't have a griddle. I have like a plug-in griddle, but that's not the same thing. Mine's like Teflon. This is stainless steel, So I was like, I got to get this griddle done. So when I went last weekend with Erica, I spent the whole weekend working on this damn griddle. Like, they were making fun of me. I spent every chance I had. I mean, I probably spent 5 hours last weekend on the griddle, just scrubbing it. And I could not get it any further.
Yeah.
So I went on Facebook and I was like, hey, everybody, tell me what to do about this griddle. I'll put a picture.
Need your help.
Yeah. So I got all kinds of ideas. I had tried half of them.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is not working. I got to figure something else out. So I bought all this stuff on Amazon to do it with. I bought a brick. I bought this special liquid, whatever. But in the process, I was like, I'm leaving the oven of the stove till the next morning, the Sunday morning, because it's so hot. I didn't even want to turn the stove on.
Yeah.
And you have to turn the griddle on to clean it, apparently. So I was like, I'll just wait for that. So in the meantime, Kelly and I get there and immediately start cleaning the kitchen. And when I say cleaning, it's not dirty. It's just not lived in.
Yeah.
So we start going through.
It needed some TLC.
It needed some TLC. It needed like items pulled together. It needed the items that like someone that's renting it from us or we use all the time. It needs certain important things like porcelain items and keepsakes to be hidden or kept out of breaking areas. Mm-hmm. So that's what we were doing. And so in the process of that, I clean out the we cleaned everything, every door, every cabinet.
That was so just satisfying.
I mean, wasn't it?
I love to clean. I love to clean as much as I hate to clean. I love the aftermath, the satisfying feeling of knowing that you purged something and you made something nice and clean.
And it was nice because there was no one to be mad at.
True.
Because like when you're cleaning up after a kid or a husband, you're
like,
pissed the whole time.
Oh my gosh, why do I have to clean this again?
Right, but nobody made a mess. It was just not lived in. That's all. It wasn't messy. It just wasn't lived in.
Needed a good wipe down and organization.
Right. And so I get underneath the sink and I'm cleaning, out all, and that's where all the cleaning supplies are. And I find one of the items that people kept telling me I needed to buy, but they didn't tell me I needed to buy it until after it was too late for me to order it and get it in time.
Yeah.
So I brought some other stuff, but I didn't bring that. And I was like, if this doesn't work, I'm going to buy that.
What was it called? Like Bartender's Delight or Bartender's Best Friend or
Best Friend. Yeah.
Like that.
And it's like a powder substance. It's kind of like a comment, but it's like for this. And let me tell you, that shit is amazing, and cleaned it like crazy. It is so beautiful and perfect now.
Yep.
I spent probably 5-6 hours the weekend before on it, and then I spent about, how many hours did you say I spent on it Saturday?
It was almost 2. I would think it was at least an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And so I found that in there, cleaned that out. We worked on that kitchen. Kelly got there, and Kelly immediately hit that kitchen. But I hadn't even changed into like clothes I didn't mind staining, and she was already had drawers open and was in it. And I was like, I brought the right best friend. And she was in it. And you love the place like I love the place.
I do. So it felt really good.
It does. And the whole time I'm cleaning it, DJ, it's her cabin. That is my step-grandmother. And all I could think is, she was very there for me in my life. She was my step-grandmother my entire life. And all I could think was that, my grandfather died when I was a child, like 86, 87. So he died when I was still little, and she maintained a relationship with me. She came to my wedding. She baked my kid a cake. Like, she would show up for events and be a grandmother to me. And so I really love DJ. And I just felt like I was honoring her.
Yeah. Yeah. Taking care of her things.
I did, yeah. And I know you did. And I know Erica did, because all of us are like that.
Yes.
And
we're very loving and caring. And
yes. And the fact that you and her, I got chills just now. Because I went to work this week and I was like, y'all, this is what we did all weekend. And I brought the right people, because y'all didn't even give a shit what I was doing. Like, y'all were just, everybody kind of just found their groove.
We went and did it, because you do have some people that would like just follow you around,
or follow you around one direction.
Like, yeah, what do you need me to do? How should I do that? What do you want me to do this with? Like, all of us, we just go. There might be a question of, hey, I need this. Do you know where it's at? Or, hey, can I borrow that when you get done with it?
Yeah.
But other than that, we were just in our own grooves going.
And Erica, bless her heart, she didn't think she could come. She didn't think she had someone to take care of her kids. So she didn't. We got there at 8:30.
Yeah.
Saturday morning,
expecting that we were going to be alone.
Yes. And then Erica said, she told me, I'm not going to, it was last minute. She was trying her hardest. And then finally around like 10, no, it was even later than that. Yeah. About 10 a.m. She was like, I'm not going to make it. I'm sorry. I tried. I understand completely. And then not 30 minutes later, I got a text. I lied. I'm on my way. It worked out. I'll be there by 3. And she was there by 3.
She was. It was great.
And so I called her and I was like, hey, we've been working since 8:30. We're going to take a break.
Yeah. Once we got done with the kitchen, we're like,
we're taking a break.
We need a break.
It was work. It was work.
Was some work.
And so, because the kitchen was our main goal.
It really was.
And I'm going to tell you, if you follow us on Instagram or on Facebook, you'll see pictures of the cabin often posted. It's obviously not dirty. It's also obviously not lived in. You can't see what we did. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like the average person would walk in and notice any difference, except the bathrooms.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
because they look like a spa.
Things. Yeah, it really does. Oh my gosh. I didn't want to, once we got done, I was like,
I was ready to get in that bathtub.
No, me too. I wanted to be in the one and the next one and just.
Yes. And I laughed so hard because Bonnie told me that her boyfriend and they went fishing all day, and then they ended up coming up to the cabin that night. And that Bonnie said that I had left some like bath bomb stuff there. I had left some Epsom salts and stuff like that there because I had been there before that by myself cleaning, and I left it there for anyone that wants to use it. Well, he saw it and he was like, I'm getting in this bathtub. This is an old school claw tub, foot bathtub. He was like, this looks great. So he made himself like a bubble bath in that bathtub. Mm-hmm. And I had done that the weekend before whenever I was there. Scrubbed it down real good for this, And so then he saw the writing on the wall and was like, I want that too. And so then she told me, she goes, so the bathrooms are next to each other. It's very weird. There's a door between the bathrooms. So there's a bathroom that, I guess anyone can use that wants to, that has a shower. Yeah. It's got a claw tooth bathtub also, but it's got a shower curtain. But that's, I guess, the living room bathroom. And
Yeah.
there's a door into the master bedroom bathroom. So he got in that bathtub. And so she was like, well, hell yeah, I want in this too. So she made herself a bath in the bathroom next to it. And they just left the door open and it had like a couple's bath.
That's so cool.
I thought it
love
was great. I was like, that's
Such
great.
a good idea.
So that gave me the idea that I needed to buy like one of those trays for the bathtub.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can, and actually what gave me the idea was the weekend I was there because I was definitely drinking some whiskey as I laid in that bathtub.
Yeah.
And looking at my phone and I was like, I need a shelf.
Yeah.
So I bought a shelf. I bought this little thing for the bathtub. And now all I want to do is get in it.
So amazing.
I know I've beaten this with a dead stick, but I really want to get in
I want
this.
to get in it so bad.
Yeah. And so Kelly did the bathrooms. I bought new stuff for the bathrooms, like, shower liner, shower curtain, all that kind of stuff. And so I had done that. So it looked beautiful. We did the kitchen first. And then Erica is like, I'm coming, but I'm late. So I'm not taking a break. I'm getting right to work when I get there. I'm ready to get this done. So y'all go take a break now. So Kelly and I head down to the river at the, and
Which we thought was going to be a great idea.
yeah.
Turns
and
out,
no.
in the middle of the heat of the day is not the time to go down to the river.
It was so hot, y'all.
It really was.
It was like 3:00.
Yes.
It was probably about 102, 3.
Yeah, it was up there.
So I've been going in this river my entire life. My entire life, this part of this river behind this cabin. It is the first time I've ever gotten in the water and been like, this is too hot to be in this river.
Yeah, it felt like you were in a bath.
Yes.
It was not
It
refreshing.
was not
at
refreshing.
all.
It was horrible. And Kelly is like, I'll float. And then she was like, no, I won't. This is horrible. I will lay out. She would rather be out of the water than in it.
I blew up a floaty all the way down there and I got in the water and I was like, nope, got right back out.
So I'm staying in the water. So I walked as far as I could, trying to get some of the natural springs cold water on my feet because, it'll pop up from the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom was nice and cool.
Yeah.
Once you got out there a ways.
So Kelly goes to lay out, and I'm standing in the water. And I'm not even like sitting in my chair in the water because it's too hot where the chair can fit.
Yeah.
And so I've wandered out a bit. And I'm staring off away from Kelly, and I'm staring at the river and just like taking it in and thinking how horrible this water feels. And I look back, and I see a snake pop up, and you don't normally see snakes in the middle of the day out there.
No.
And it's only at
I
night.
never see them out there
Right.
whenever we're out there.
And so I see this snake pop. I'm always watching for them.
Yeah.
So I see the snake pop up, and it's pretty far from me. I mean, I don't know how to explain how far it is, but I don't know, a quarter mile,
Yeah.
maybe.
I don't know.
And I see it going across the the river, and I'm like, that's a snake. I'm pretty sure it's a snake. And then I see it closer, and I'm like, that's a snake. And it's going to where there's shade. There's a big tree over the river. And so I'm like, oh, it's going to the shade. It's going to the cooler water is. It's miserable as well.
Yeah, it's like, I got to get out of here.
It's going over there. And then, so I'm watching it. It gets to the shaded area. And then I realize there's another snake going towards it. And they are heading towards each other. And then I see a little splashing. And the snakes are gone. And then they pop back up. And they go in opposite directions of each other. So I guess they had a little tiff.
We had a little snake fight.
That's when I decided to get out. That's when I
Like,
decided
yeah.
I was done.
Yeah, the snakes are fighting. That's a big cue to just get
Even
out
the
of the way.
snakes are grumpy.
Yes. I don't
The
wanna
water's
be
too hot. So I was like, you can continue to bake yourself. I have to go inside. We maybe made it 25 minutes.
Yeah, we were not out there
20
very
minutes?
long.
It was not long.
No.
It took us longer to walk down
It
there. I
really
think.
did. Walk down and walk back, yeah.
Yeah. So we packed our shit up and went back to the, the cabin. And by then Erica was there.
Yes, and she looked at us, and apparently we were all red already, even though we weren't out there very long.
Yeah.
And she's like, gosh, how long were y'all out there? And we were like,
20 minutes.
Not very. She's like, it looks like y'all been baking out there.
It was so bad. And so then we were like, okay, well, we don't even want to go back to the river this weekend. It's
Yeah.
too hot. Y'all, it was 108 in Dallas yesterday.
Yeah, insane.
It was the hottest day of the year in Dallas.
I know
yesterday.
that it is a much hotter in other places, so I understand that we don't have it the worst, but it's
Right.
still it's not fun.
No, it's not. And so we were like, well, so we get back, we keep working, and we work till 7:00 at night, probably on the house.
Yeah, and then we were like, you know what? Let's go treat ourselves to some dinner in town.
Yes, and I normally cook, but we didn't want to mess up the kitchen.
Oh, and because we Zeta was in a rush to leave, she forgot all of her makeup because we had planned on going out to dinner. So like I usually don't bring any kind of makeup or anything to the river because you're not going to use it.
Yeah.
But since we were going to be going out, I was like, okay, I need to pack my little makeup bag so that I can, we can get dolled up.
Deodorant maybe. Yeah. Because I didn't even have that.
Yeah, she didn't. So she forgets her makeup and stuff because she didn't bring her one bag.
I had my entire bathroom bag.
And then I'm thinking, oh, that's okay. I have, I brought mine. So, we can hopefully just get by on, what we have. So she's like, cool. We get there. I realize I don't have mine either. I didn't bring mine either.
She forgot it because she told me because I got there too early.
I didn't remember to pack it. I was like rushing and no. So then
Erica's like, you can use mine. And she's white as snow.
She is the whitest of all of us. The one person that brought their makeup is the super white one, and
yes,
yeah, but we made it work. I mean, we went pretty semi-natural, and actually, I thought that we all looked pretty hot. Honestly, we don't need a lot of makeup.
So Erica and I get dressed, and we have on black dresses. Sundresses.
Yeah, black dresses. I walk out and mine is a black base, but it has print on it on top too. It had colorful flowers.
But it didn't look like we were going to the same party.
No, and so I was like, well, dang, man, I need just a plain black dress. Y'all are in black dresses. I need one. I didn't bring a plain black dress. And Sada's like, don't worry, I got you covered.
I always have 3 to 4.
Me and back into the room. She's like, I got this one. I got this one. I got this one. I was like, okay. So I put on an all black dress so that we're all in black dresses.
Not thinking this is going to be weird to anybody. We just like to look like we're going to the same party.
Yeah.
We show up at the restaurant, which is in San Saba, and it is a little restaurant, a little Mexican restaurant. And I've been there a million times. And we walk in, and it's 8 o'clock at night at this point, which is late for this small town.
Yeah.
And there's not many tables seated. Nobody's wearing black dresses or black in general.
Or dresses.
It's weird to me. Yeah, or dresses. Nothing.
No dressing up whatsoever.
No, and we're not even dressed up. Honestly, we're wearing sundresses.
We are.
But they're black.
But we were
definitely dressed.
We definitely stuck out.
So we walk in, we sit down. It's like when you walk in somewhere and everyone stares at you. That's exactly what happened.
That's what happened.
So we go, we get seated. Our waitress comes up to us, and the first thing she says is, I just have to ask, what's the event that y'all have to wear all black?
We came from my ex-husband's funeral.
I mean, I should have said that. I will say.
We couldn't think of anything funny at the time.
I know, the only thing that I can think is about a month ago, they had their Catskills ball. Catskills? I don't know how they pronounce it. Catskills ball. And it's like a ball they have every year in town, and everybody goes to it. That's got money, I guess, and every year it's a different theme. And this year was everybody wore white.
Oh.
So the only thing I can think of is they saw us in all black and they thought we had just left some kind of event.
Yeah.
But really, we just dress in a lot of black.
Yeah, that's just our favorite color.
Yeah.
It's my signature
I
color.
have at least 20 black dresses.
Same.
That I wear on a regular basis.
Whenever I find something that I like,
I buy it in black and one other color.
I definitely have to get it in black. I'm like, do they have it in black? Good.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay. Now I might pick another color. Maybe 3.
I've only recently gotten to the point where I started buying things that weren't black. And my mom even commented on it because for the longest time of my life, I was black. That was it. There was no color, just black.
It's flattering. Black is flattering.
It is.
And it looks good in everything.
Yeah, it really does. And so it was just, and it's simple. I just reach in. I don't have to pair things or make sure things go. It's just
everything matches.
Everything matches.
Yep.
But I've gotten out of my comfort zone and started buying things that are not. And so now I'll actually wear an outfit where I don't have anything black on. And my mom's like, who are you?
Going on?
What? Are you okay?
I thought it was funny. I was like, that was a weird. I didn't even see that coming. That would be weird. That we were in black dresses. And I'm talking, I was wearing...
We don't think about that.
I was wearing flip-flops with my black dress, y'all. We were not overdressed. Mm-hmm. I was wearing flip-flops, literally. So I thought it was funny. Anyway, so we leave there, and we go to Dollar Store. That's a different story. Anyway, so we go back home, and Kelly got to hear the song.
I did, and I was so happy.
Erica recorded us writing the song. If you listen to last week's podcast, you'll hear us talking about how I finally got to help write a song.
And it's amazing.
Is it better than I described?
It really is. It's absolutely amazing.
I don't know how to give it justice.
And it definitely got stuck in my head.
Right? It's catchy as hell.
Yes, it is.
I did discuss this with Al briefly earlier on the podcast, and he shut me down. Was like, y'all are going to get sued.
We don't care.
I was like, we're all right. We got legal's got this.
Yeah,
so it's all good.
We're all good.
Yeah, we're good. But we so on the way back from San Saba, it's about a 20-minute drive back to the cabin, and Erica's like, "Oh yeah, I got it on. I recorded us, writing it."
Yeah, I have to say my favorite part was that she had different versions. She had different recordings because you can tell the whole process as it went, and then it has a lot of bantering back and forth, just of y'all
just
talking and laughing. And oh my gosh, that's probably a really good part of it. I'm like, some of that should be left in.
Yeah,
of y'all starting it off and like talking and
because we're being funny.
Yes. So funny.
They were you couldn't hear me because honestly, while we were writing it, I was standing at the stove cleaning it. I was. They had their guitars out, and I was scrubbing the stove. That's not some country ass shit. And I'm serious. True story. Had happened.
Scrubbing the stove.
Yeah. And so in the middle of us recording it, Erica says, "I just swallowed a bug."
She did.
And nobody reacted.
That was my favorite part, too.
Yes, you laughed hysterically.
Yes, I did. I lost my shit.
And nobody even acted. She said it, and we all were like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Nothing else. There was nothing else said.
That's probably why I thought it was so funny, is because it was just so like matter of fact. Like she was like saying something. She's like, "Oh, just swallowed it," because you could tell she just took a drink of her drink, and she was like, "Oh, just swallowed a bug." And y'all didn't say anything. Y'all just kept on going and talking, and I just lost it.
It was really funny. I told Kelly when we got here and we were talking about what we were going to talk about, I was like, I've never heard you laugh like gutturally, like from your gut. And when she was listening to it, she was laughing so hard. I was like, I really appreciate the fact that you enjoyed that so much.
It was great. I can't wait till it comes out because it's going to be like on my playlist on repeat.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. So we get back. We, pretty much go to bed. Like we're exhausted from cleaning.
I was out and I got a little tipsy from the margaritas. So I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. So
then it's been a minute since I've been drinking, and I'm a lightweight now.
Right. And so we get back, and then the next morning we get up, and we're up at like 7:30 and cleaning.
Yep.
I could not believe it. We got up in the meet everybody. I didn't have to ask anyone. They didn't have to ask me. Like we all got up and equally started cleaning. So we started at 7:30 and we finished around 2. Mm-hmm. So we started cleaning. Kelly and I did at about 8:30 in the morning Saturday. Finished about 7 p.m. with 1 hour break total. And then came back the next morning from 7:30 to 2. And this was a house that was clean. Yeah. That's the craziest part.
But there's a difference between clean and deep cleaned.
Yes.
There's a big difference. There's a lot that goes into deep cleaning, especially a house with that much wood too, because we had to clean and then polish. And then
I even polished the cabinet, y'all.
Oh my gosh. And there's so much wood floor, and there's a lot of furniture. So there's a lot of moving of furniture to clean under it. Like we got everything. And
Erica went outside in this 100-degree weather and busted her ass outside.
Yeah, she did.
And she worked on anything outside. Yeah. Bless her heart.
She had her little leaf blower going, and what was it?
There was no talking her out of either. She was staying outside and she was working because I kept worrying she was going to overheat.
Me too.
She was like, "Nah, I'm not done."
She was like, "I'm good."
Yeah, she kept at it. And so basically the cabin will be for rent, and we only rent to people that we know or that we trust or whatever the case is.
So you better become our friends.
Become our friend. I'm just saying, if you want a weekend at the cabin, we'll be renting it out.
And if you want us there with you, there's
a little extra. We've talked about that.
Talk about
you know what?
That
is a really good thing to put out there. If you would be interested in a weekend at the cabin, a listener weekend is an option.
It is.
I don't think that's a... Could you handle that?
You just have to pass the vibe check.
Yeah. I mean, not a bunch of you at once, because that would be too much because, strangers and,
Stranger danger.
But if
we're the strangers that are danger, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, but I mean, honestly, it would be a cool little thing. And I mean, it'd be a cool thing. Anyway, so we're gonna rent it out, but we're not putting it on Airbnb.
It's definitely off the market thing.
Yes, only people that we know.
Word of mouth VIP situation.
Yeah, and so we worked on that all day Saturday. And I will say that other than the stove, for me anyways, the other biggest issue, which probably would be for all of us, is the only part that was actually a problem. There was a closet in the sunroom that we've all been afraid of since forever.
Yeah, since we've been there. It was a scary.
Nobody wanted to do it, and everybody was afraid because it's a clean closet. It's a closet of cleaning supplies. That's it. Mm-hmm. But the bottom of it had like a debris that I didn't know what it was. And I thought at some point one of the ringtails that, if you've listened to us very long, you know, we had a ringtails that had attacked the house when no one lived in it.
They had taken over.
Yes.
It was their cabin.
It was. And we got rid of the ringtails and we cleaned up from the ringtails. But there was evidence of the ringtails in the closet. And we were like, is it the ringtails? Did a mouse get in here? What's going on? But you could see debris on the bottom of the floor. And honestly, I was scared of it. I didn't want to deal with it.
So we just kept that.
So we just kept it shut.
That was the Chamber of Secrets.
But I was exactly. So I was like, I've got to deal with this closet. I'm going in. I should have worn a mask maybe. So I'm like, all right. So I get in there, and much to my delight, it was not actually a mice, rat, ringtail nest that I thought it was, but some kind of varmint, most likely a ringtail, had gotten in there. And DJ, my step grandmother, Dorothy, I call her both, she had a bag apparently of potpourri. And then no, I take that back. That was a different issue. She had a bag of birdseed, and she had a bag of wildflower seeds, and she had a like basket of dried tiny gourds. She grew gourds and she sold them, and she would dry them and paint them
and make them into different things.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And so she had a basket of these tiny gourds. They were like the size of walnuts, and some little critter had gotten in there. It could have been 10 years ago.
And it just had a heyday.
It had a heyday.
That was his like jackpot of things.
But I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it
and
was
so
just scary.
We would just instantly shut it and be like, fuck that closet. So I was like, I got to deal with the closet. So I opened the closet and I'm like, y'all pray for me. And so I get in there and start dealing with, and that's when I realized what it was. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. Like literally I saw no mice poop. I saw
weren't
no
any dead bodies.
There was and I was
like
expecting
that.
like a little hole, like some little varmint had broken in through a hole, and I was going to have to patch a hole. And like my head was in a different place. The closet had no problems other than what was on the floor, and everything on the floor had came out of these 2 bags in that basket. And so I swept it and vacuumed it for a good 2 hours because the shit just kept coming back.
Yes.
I don't know what happened.
It just kept multiplying.
Yeah, and then I cleaned the closet out, and I felt like I had just saved the world.
Yeah, you really did. You deserve a medal of some kind.
I was like, everybody, look at the closet.
She brought everybody.
Look at the closet. Anyone that look at the closet. Bonnie got there. Look at the closet. Bonnie said, I've been putting that in the back of my head for 10 years. I've been so scared of that closet.
I know, we all have.
I just acted like it didn't exist. It's like taxes you owe. That's where we were. So we got the closet done, and once I got the closet done, I was in. This is a lot of conversation about cleaning, y'all. But if you like to clean or you like a clean home, you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So for the house to be that clean, and I told the girls before we got there, it's not going to be that bad. It's pretty clean. It won't take long. It's pretty clean. Holy shit! I told them Saturday night. I said, if y'all weren't here, I would be in the fetal position crying at this point.
Yeah. There's no way you could have gotten it done. There's no way.
We found all kinds of cool shit. And one of the so cool things that we found is that apparently DJ really liked miniature things.
She loved miniature things.
Which we had found her miniature teacups.
That we turned into shot
glasses.
About
a year ago that we turned into shot glasses. And you will see pictures of us taking shots out of these fancy little teacups.
It's amazing.
Yeah. But apparently she really liked all miniature things. And so by the time we were done cleaning the kitchen, I had an entire box of miniature cooking utensils, like a Dutch oven that's a barbecue. Now, really, it's American Girl size.
Yeah.
Everything's almost American Girl size.
Kind of, yeah.
But probably a good 15 pieces of cast iron, including, if you've ever seen when someone makes cornbread and it's shaped like corn, the cast iron that's shaped like corn, they had that doll size.
So cute.
And it's real cast iron. You could legit cook in these items.
Yeah. So cool.
So we made a basket and decided that if I ever have grandkids, they're going to have some shit to play with.
Yeah. Or if we have people that are renting it and they bring their kids, they freaking a whole setup they can just sit and play with.
Yeah. And
my little niece would absolutely love it. Oh my gosh, she would go crazy. I wanted to too. If we weren't so busy cooking, I would have been playing with the stuff.
Next trip, we should clean them up, polish them and clean them up and grease them. And then we should cook a miniature meal on our miniature cast iron.
Oh my gosh, say less. I'm there.
This is where we are in life. anyways, that was our weekend.
So much fun.
I know it sounds like horrible, but it was awesome.
I love to purge. I love to clean. I'm the opposite of a hoarder. I love to get rid of things. I love to clean things out and throw things away. It makes me so happy to just be like, let's just clean this whole drawer out, just throw all this stuff away. We don't need that.
Well, and like we did have to throw away some things. Because like she hadn't lived there in forever. So like there were a ton of pins that didn't work or like random shit that you're like, okay, literally 7 rulers in the same drawer. I mean, they all measure the same, but not one tape measure.
True.
So was she just lining up rulers? Like, I don't know. So I did purge 6 of the rulers. We only need, actually I take it back. I kept 2 because 2 of them had like company names on them that were important, so I kept those.
That's smart.
But that was our weekend. Very exciting. If you want to rent the cabin,
just let us know.
For real. I mean, like it's an amazing place, and we have more plans for it. And I will say this is really cool, but I want to make a book for it. Yeah. And I think you saw my text today.
Yeah. You mean your group text?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I saw that group.
But I need pictures. Today. And so I'm sorry.
Today's my day off, and so I'm so happy that I turned my ringer off.
So she didn't respond to a single message.
I never respond to the group texts. Never.
But even when I put you on it, I was like, she's going to be mad, but I know she's got pictures.
No, I don't.
You don't.
On my flip phone, I have got pictures on my flip phone. I haven't taken pictures. I haven't taken pictures from the cabin since I lost my iPhone in the river that year. Yeah.
Well, okay.
So I do have pictures on that iPhone if we could ever find it.
If we could ever find it at the bottom of the river. It's low enough. It's shocking we haven't.
Should have dragged the river.
Well, my plan is to go on Shutterfly and I'm going to make a book of pictures taken at the cabin. That would be and I'm going to leave it at the cabin for visitors to see when they, and my girlfriends that come, whatever. But so I messaged Bonnie and I'm like, Bonnie, hey, send me any pictures in the cabin, and I'd really like some pictures of DJ and of my granddad. So she was like, okay, let me see what I can find. So she sends me these pictures last night and today. And it's of my granddad, who died in like 86, 87, I can't remember which one, holding her as an 18-month-old. Like she's little. Mm-hmm. And on the front porch, and it's just really cool, But here's the coolest ones. There's pictures of her swimming in the pool. So I've told the girls all these times they've come is that in the back we have this really cool patio area with a fire pit and everything. But it also has this area that looks like it used to be a pond, a small pond, and it's got like area around it that looks like it used to be probably planters. But in real life, it was a pool. Yeah. And so my granddaddy built the pool himself. I don't mean he paid people. I mean, he literally built the pool himself, just like he did the house. Mm-hmm. And as a kid, I can remember going out there and swimming in it all the time.
That's so cool.
And then once he passed away, they turned it into like a lily pad thing with goldfish. And then they made, it was kind of hard to maintain because it was so big, and it wasn't that big, but it was apparently hard to maintain. So she made it smaller and planted plants around it. And she passed away. You can't really maintain a pond
when nobody's living
when no one's living there. So now it's just kind of a little empty thing. So every time we go, we all brainstorm on what we could do with this space. Yeah. And I always tell people, this used to be a pool. When I was a kid, this was this badass pool. And
you should just revive the pool.
I thought about it today. I was like, what would it take for me to make this happen? If I put a timer on the pump, I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to lie. It is a thought.
It would be cool.
And, because I feel like if we dug up all the dirt, there's probably concrete under there still, but it's probably cracked. I don't know. Anyway, so I was like, my current thought process is to plant like a cactus garden in it.
That'd be cool.
But it was this great pool, and I've told everybody about this pool, all these years we've been going, and to see pictures of it finally. And Bonnie's in the picture. That's and cool. Adorable. And of course, in just her panties because she's Bonnie. And I was like, there's the picture. I'm going to also add, there's not one single picture of my grandfather with any other grandkids.
Oh, really?
Like none of us have a single picture. He didn't like kids. He liked me and my brother, but we were it. My other cousins have not one memory of him ever speaking to them.
Wow.
He's from the generation of your children are to be seen and not heard.
Yep.
But he loved my mom was his favorite, therefore we were his favorite grandkids. So I actually have very good memories of my granddaddy. So it was really cool. So I'm making this book, this Shutterfly book, And so I want all these pictures so people can see all these fun moments that have happened in the house and such. So I want to put on the front of it because she calls it DJ's. I call it the cabin. Because when I was growing up, we called it the cabin. When she was growing up, it was called DJ's. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to put on the front of it DJ's cabin. And then I'm going to put If These Walls Could Talk.
Nice.
Because you can only imagine.
I like it.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
It's going to be great.
So I'm kind of excited. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty excited about this whole little prospect. That's my new little thing.
Every time we get out there and do something more, I get more excited.
Yeah. So going back to the whole heat situation in the hot, we're going to change subjects. We're talking about the heat that's going on right now in Texas.
Yeah.
It's so hot. I can't cook in my home. My house is 100 years old.
You do not want to turn an oven on.
It's 80 degrees before I start cooking in my kitchen, and that's with my AC set at 70. Like, it just can't keep up with this heat.
You just can't. You can't get anything below a certain.
I'm crock potting the shit out of this summer, and I'm crock potting shit I didn't know you could crock pot. And if it doesn't turn out good, fine, we'll starve. I don't know.
Throw it in the crock pot.
So Friday night, a friend of mine posts that she does baking on the side. She's a single mom. She does baking on the side for extra money. And she was like, I baked these like 3 dozen, 4 dozen, whatever. And I have 1 dozen left over of these cupcakes, $20, anyone that wants them. And I was like, I want them. I was going to bring them to the girls' weekend. Then I realized they'd probably melt before I got there. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I want them. And I was in Rocket. We went to dinner at the Rocket Cafe. And so I was in Rocket, which is where she lives. So I was like, I want them. I'll meet you. I'm almost done. Well, she didn't see my message in time. So I messaged Melindy. Text her, because they're friends. She has her phone number. Text her. Tell her I want those cupcakes. I'm still in Rocket. Well, they didn't get back to me till I was back in Waxahachie.
Yeah. And
so I was like, which is about 12 minutes, give or take.
Yeah, depending on which way you go.
Yeah. So I'm back home. It's 9:15 at night. And we're leaving the next morning at the crack of dawn. And she messages me. She goes, oh, Melindy said, or she texts me. She was like, Melindy gave me your number and said you one of those. I still have them. I said, well, I'm already back home. I'm sorry, but next time. She goes, I'll deliver. So at 9:30 at night, she delivered cupcakes to my house.
That's customer service.
That's some small town shit.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
And that's some customer service.
Yeah.
I could not be more impressed with my flex that at 9:30. And Rick had to go. Where did he have to go? Oh, we had to run back to his mom's house to pick up something because he was fishing in the morning that he had left. Mm-hmm. So he was running back to Rocket. And he was like, I'll pick up your cupcakes. I was like, no, she's delivering. I got this. Don't worry about it. He comes back and I got cupcakes. He was like, who the hell gets cupcakes delivered at 9:30 at night from a person? I was like, me. I do. I was very impressed with myself. And on that note, we had a cookie caper incident.
Oh, my gosh. I'm excited about this.
So if you followed before about the cookie caper.
Cookie caper.
I came home yesterday and I'm on the phone and I'm dealing with the situation on the phone. So I'm not in the best mood over this. I'm dealing with this situation. And Rick's like pantomiming to me what his problem is, which is that his cookies are missing.
Oh, no, not again.
There's only been one kid home.
Yeah.
So it narrows it down.
He can't blame it on anybody else this time.
And that kid is swearing they didn't do it. And I honestly don't know if Rick's timeline is right. Or the kids. It could have possibly been either kid.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't know. So I told him I can't convict him unless I know for a fact. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, that used to happen to me growing up. And I'm not doing that if I don't know for a fact. He was like, well.
He needs to stop leaving his cookies downstairs.
Right?
He needs to find a new
He has a special cabinet.
I know, but obviously it's not secure enough.
Clearly.
And so I'm sorry, but it's kind of one of those things like, oh, you get me once, shame on you. Get me twice, shame on me.
That's the truth.
I would have left it.
Well, he fucked up and found out. So Rick's way of dealing with it was that he felt like Zol needed to go outside and mow because of the missing cookies.
Yeah. Well, Zol needs to go out and mow anyways.
Agree. So it's hard to disagree. So, but Zol's doesn't work outside, and it's 108 yesterday. It's the hottest day of the year in Dallas. Literally, I said it on the news. So I'm like, well, I agree. He needs to go mow, even if he didn't eat the cookies, because we don't really know who did it. But can we wait till the sun's getting a little lower, and then he can go out there? I was like, okay.
Figures.
So in there, I was like, oh, when you feel like the temperature is right, you need to go out there and mow. You're mowing today. Well, I don't have to mow. I didn't eat the cookies. I was like, because you're 16. Go mow.
Yeah. Literally what 16-year-olds are supposed to do.
He didn't argue. He was like, you're right. Okay. So he went out there and they mowed, and that put Rick in a good mood and he forgave the cookie caper. But we're going to have to buy a safe specifically for cookies.
Cookie safe.
A cookie. They're not even that good at cookies.
Obviously,
These cookies are like $2.15 a package. That's like 3 cents a cookie. I could buy enough cookies for the next month and everybody be happy.
Well, it's the principle of the matter.
It is the principle of the matter. So that was the cookie caper. We made a few. We didn't know how much we were going to talk about, but I guess we're going to wrap it up in a minute. I want to say, Melindy, my friend. If you've ever heard talk about my friend Melindy, who I love and adore. Her husband is Jason,
and
Heron.
we've had her on before.
We have, and her husband is Jason Heron, who is a local musician and amazing. Look him up on Spotify, YouTube, whatever. Jason Heron, Herrin, country singer. Melindy I've known for years, and Melindy knew my mom before she knew me, and love Melindy. I love Melindy. Like, I can't imagine anyone not loving Melindy.
She's pretty great.
She's pretty great. So we did the last episode. We talked to somebody that had left the Mormon church, right? And, we're learning about the Mormon church. So we post the podcast, and our good friend Brandy, which I'm sure you heard me talk about.
She's been on as well.
Yes, who is Melindy's best friend, texts me immediately because she listens to every podcast. She goes, Melindy's a Mormon, right? I was like, no.
No.
I had no idea.
When?
She goes,
When
I said,
did that
obviously not practicing.
Yeah.
She goes, no, she is. I said, what? And she goes, yeah, she is. I go, what? Yeah. No, she is. And I was like, okay. So I'm thinking, I need to make a phone call to Melindy because I don't want her offended by anything. I love Melindy.
Well, I don't think we did nothing that was offensive.
No, it wasn't offensive, but it is her religion that we were discussing, And so I didn't even get a chance to message her. About an hour later, because she listens also, she messaged me and she was like, I'm Mormon, right? I'm like, I didn't know till an hour ago when Brandy told me.
How would we know? That's
Well,
the thing.
maybe because she's one of our closest friends.
But obviously, she has done or said nothing to make us believe. So that's what I'm saying. How are we supposed to know if you have never mentioned it? There's no signs of it.
Yeah.
So the only way that we'd know is if you told us or
would
if
have
we saw
never
it.
guessed.
So it's funny that she's like, I'm Mormon, right? How the heck would I
Well,
supposed to
she meant
know
it like
that?
a joke. She was laughing about it, and so I was like, I do now, and so I was like, and she goes, that's nothing like the Mormon church that I was raised in, and I feel like that's maybe more fundamentalist.
Yeah.
And she was like, and I agree with what he's saying. Like, that sounds like some fundamentalist stuff, but it is not how I was raised or what I believe. And I have been surrounded by amazing, loving people and good, positive things. And I believe her. Absolutely. Because Melindy is not one to lie. She is one to be brutally honest.
Oh, yeah.
So I found that an interesting take.
Yeah.
And
But I can totally see that because with any kind of religion, you're going to have, it doesn't matter any kind of church or synagogue or whatever, every single one is different. They're led by different people. They do things differently. So you're going to get a completely different experience everywhere that you go, no matter if it's the same kind of religion or anything like that.
Correct. And so I found that interesting. And there's just there's more layers to that religion and that story than we let on because we only know what we know.
Yeah.
And I believe everything that Ron said, and I believe everything she's saying. Mm-hmm. Like, I definitely believe, all churches are like that.
Every experience is different.
But I did get a good laugh out of it, and so did she. Like, she was cool. And she was like, yeah, girl, I am.
Had no clue.
Melindy is the same person that this weekend is her 50th birthday party. And her birthday party is at an 80s club in Fort Worth, she's invited all her friends, and the theme is Dolly Parton. And everyone is dressed like Dolly Parton.
So funny.
That's not the best thing you've ever seen. So today, Brandy, her best friend, one of our best friends, sends me a picture of herself in a wig, and she's ordered a Dolly Parton wig. She was like, "You think this looks like Dolly?" I'm like, "Yes." And then I guess she styled it. She sends me a picture. This looks like Dolly. I was like, "Yes." She's so ridiculous.
But speaking of that, I only say that because we do have an email from a listener, and I apologize to this listener because when I went into my email, I had an email, but then it was saying like some kind of error message kind of thing. So I had no idea that it was, I was like, is this spam? Is this, I don't know. Because then there was another email and it had an attachment. And I'm very weary about opening any kind of attachments on anything because you never know what you're going to get. Well, but I actually did open it up and it came through and actually it was the email. So we have an email from her name, Sonia. And so it says, okay, I'm listening to the podcast and you said something about an 80s theme, something in Fort Worth, is it in Fort Worth?
Yes.
Yes. She said, I need more information, please. What is it and where is it? By the way, I love the podcast. Also, Kelly, thanks for the recommendation for the park that we went to when we camped out. She said we camped there this last weekend and had such a great time. Yes, it was hot, but we made the best of it.
Oh, they went to the same one.
And a
you
window
did?
unit attached to our tent helped me sleep. And she said, one of your number one fans, Sonia. So thank you so much for your email. It made my day. I love a good email.
Hang on, I'm looking up the event right now so I can tell you where the place. Okay, it's called Studio 80.
Yes, Studio 80. I've been there. It's amazing. So much fun. They have that's amazing dance floor and they're awesome music. And there's like two parts to it as well. There's this place on the other side of it that has like the lights coming out from under the floor and it's so great. It's so much fun.
Well, they're going to be inundated with Dolly Parton on Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
That's so funny. Well, good. Thank you, Sonia. What's Sonia's last name? Did she say?
It is.
Aguirre?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know her. Yeah, she's on my social media. I love her. She's very active.
So sorry we didn't get to your message. I had no idea and I was scared. But I finally opened it up and I was like, oh, it really is a message.
Aw.
It's great.
Yeah, no, I've not been to that club, but I've heard really good things about it.
Oh, I only half remember it because it was, one of those nights.
Yeah. Well, there's an 80s club in Austin on around 6th Street. And my daughter, every time I come, takes me there because she's obsessed with the music I listened to growing up. And so the other night, I was like, what are you doing now? She was like, I'm going to my 80s club. Duh.
Duh.
She didn't go to regular clubs. She only goes to 80s clubs. And she loves it.
They're the most fun.
They are. The 80s were fun, y'all.
I'm sorry that I missed
I was there.
But...
It was fun. Anyway, so we got some more stuff to talk about next week. We made a whole list of stuff thinking we didn't have enough stuff, but we didn't even touch half of it.
Yeah, I know.
We're trying not to do another hour and 20-minute podcast like last week. We're trying to reel it in.
Yeah, which y'all love anyways, though. So it
I
really
know,
isn't that big a deal.
but we got to save something for the next week.
Got to keep you wanting more.
Yeah.
And it's already getting louder in next door.
Right.
And I know that it's just going to continue the later
get louder
it gets.
and louder.
So, yeah, and they're going to start the music soon. So
yes. So we saw the DJ
go ahead,
show up.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the day.
Yeah. So y'all join us again next week, and we'll talk to you. And
let's drop our stuff real quick.
Yeah. So I am Zada Owens, Zada Owens on Facebook, and I'm Z Mamacita on Instagram, and Kelly is
Kelly Lady Pearl on Instagram. And if you'd like to email the podcast, because that's my favorite thing ever, it is 2 Sides in the Truth podcast at outlook.com.
And for real, if y'all would be interested in a girls podcast weekend
at the cabin,
I think we would do it.
Yeah. Let us know.
So let us know.
We'll
what you
raffle
think.
off some places.
Yeah, I mean, I'm serious. It would be a good little weekend, and you could see what it's about.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
And you may love or hate it. If you do not like the country, it is not for you.
Definitely not.
There's no TV. There's no internet. Phones work for some of us.
Mine does not.
Mine does,
which I love going because I get off the grid completely.
I have perfect service. T-Mobile, for real. But if you'd be interested in it, it might be something we'd be up to. Maybe next spring or fall, though. Yeah. I mean, next spring. Well, winter one, maybe.
Yeah, once it starts getting a little cooler, it'd actually be nice.
Yeah, I think so, too. Because I want to do another winter one. This one was so great.
Yeah, it was.
We got to redo that.
It's fun to do the fire down by the river.
Yes, and the fire in the house.
Yeah.
Anyways, let us know, and we'll talk to y'all again on the next episode of
Two Sides in the Truth.
Bye, y'all.
Peace out.
Bye.